This is going to be an extremely deep portal message. You're gonna know and feel if this message is for you, okay? And I'm gonna kind of read a couple of things off because I've had a few different things come through for this channeled message throughout this past week, and I want to touch on them so that you only stay if you're really truly feeling called. The number one thing that is going to make you feel called is chameleon, okay? This is a message about chameleons. So you're gonna really resonate with Lemurian crystal quartz, whether that's smoky quartz or it's clear quartz or it's another one of the quartz. You're gonna really resonate with one of these quartz crystals, or even Lemuria, honestly, because they are all Lemurian quartz crystals. The other thing that you're going to sorry, I wrote a bunch of stuff down, bear with me. You're gonna resonate with not fitting in, of course, but not fitting in the sense of like there isn't one container that which holds you. There isn't one space where you really like fit into a box. Or for example, there's not like, let's take fashion as an example because that's one of the things I wrote. There's no season of colors that just fits you. Like you don't fit into a season. You literally fit into all these different seasons, but it's based on all these individual characteristics of the different colors of the seasons that match your skin tones, right? So it's like, you just don't fit, okay? My love, and it's not a bad thing. I'm gonna start this message out with that because it's not a bad thing. But this is, again, like I said, going to be a very deep portal message, and I'm just gonna say there's gonna be a lot coming up, and I love you. I am so with you. I resonate with this collective so deeply you don't even realize. So all right, my love, you have probably been told throughout your entire life that you are a chameleon, or maybe you've been told that you're a shapeshifter, or maybe you've just never really realized, but you adapt to others to a degree which you don't really understand. And maybe this has been coming up in your reality recently. Maybe there's a part of you that's like really like been starting to recognize how much you adapt to others, how much you take their energy on. You're also going to really, really resonate with being a very deep empath, but an empath to a degree that just doesn't really make sense. Like there's a deep, deep, deep empath here. And I'm really being told to emphasize Lemuria. I guess maybe Lemuria is very, very potent. Maybe you've even had past lives in Lemuria, which I didn't really ever think about, but yeah, maybe. Let me take a sippy sip. Okay. Yeah, so there's a part of you that like has always just really adapted to others, and you have really been able to throughout your entire life get into any setting. So there's a part of you that's like, no matter what the community is, no matter what the group is, every single group, okay, so hear me, every single group, you've always felt like you didn't fit in with the group, but somehow you were there, okay? Somehow you were surrounded by people, or you were always in all these communities, and maybe you've like shifted communities too. This may be something that you really resonate with. You'll have to let me know. But maybe you have like throughout your life like joined one friend group and then like joined another friend group, and maybe like old friend groups have fallen away, or like you ended up just like leaving those friend groups, but then you would just be in another friend group, and then you would be in another friend group. Maybe you've been in several different friend groups, or maybe you're that person that's in like all these different friend groups at the same time, and it's because you're so adaptable, right? But there's also this sense of like in every single one of these friend groups, you've never felt like there's your group, like your people, right? And baby, let me tell you right now, your people are these people. Every single one of these people that's resonating with you, they are your kind, okay? They are your people. These are your you're made from the same star type of people, okay? Because they're also here with a similar mission, and that's why you have these abilities, okay? And these are abilities that angels really want me to emphasize, that these are abilities, my love. And they probably don't feel like them at sometimes. They probably feel like a fucking burden. Like, they probably feel so dense and just like, I'm just like, my heart aches because I know that it's been so hard for you. But we'll get into that a little bit more as we go. But like, just remember throughout this message that like, these are gifts, these are abilities that you have, and it is such a blessing to get to have these abilities. Let me see if this is, there, is that better? Hopefully. But anyways, so you like haven't really resonated with any of these friend groups. You've always just been, you've been individual, you've been rare, and there's just a part of you that even when you're with all of these people stands out because you have a shadow side, okay? You have a shadow side, and everyone else has a shadow side too, my love, but your shadow side, you own it, okay? That shadow part of you, that dark edge of you, like, you have had to walk through it to become light, and most of the other beings that you're around have been light or projected their light and kept their shadows deep within, and so then they're arguing with their shadows throughout their life. And maybe you don't even really know this about people, maybe you just see their light and you're like, oh, they're all so awesome, and like, I have this darkness. But sorry, this is gonna be a dense message. I should stop apologizing for this, but like, I literally cough every time I channel, especially when it's like really hard stuff to get up. Anyways, you just like haven't really fit in, right? There's like this darkness that you have had within you, and it's almost like this is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this message, because this is something that like comes up often, especially when you're around other people, especially when you're in group settings, and especially like in moments when you're silent in a group setting, like watching other people exist, and you almost like have this sense of yourself that like, we'll get to that. But yeah, I wanted to touch on something else. Okay, we'll see if it comes back. But yeah, so there's like this, you've just like always been individual. Oh, I was gonna say, there it was, that if you were, you're not, but if you were to like have a funeral and you were the one that crossed, you're one of those people, and maybe this is like a huge confirmation for you, maybe you've always thought this, but you were like, but you don't actually know, and so you've always been like, do people actually love me? Like, would they actually show up? But like, here's your confirmation, babe. If you had a funeral and you were the one who crossed, your people that would show up to your funeral would be so many and so individual, different groups of people. It would be so many different people that it would be this crazy full community, and you would, you would stand up there crossed over, be like, haha, bitch, you know, but no one would see you, right? But it would be like, everyone would look around and be like, whoa, I didn't realize they knew this many people. Or I didn't realize that they touched this many people. I didn't realize they showed up for all these people the way they showed up for me. And you have been showing up for so many people for so long, okay? And in depths and ways in which you probably haven't even felt reciprocative. Like, you almost like feel like you're just like endlessly showing up for people. Like, you've been so many people's like handle in their darkness, and then as soon as they don't need the handle, they've kind of like walked away, and you just like watch them walk away, or be like, yeah, I was there, but like no recognition, right? There's been a sense of no recognition. But that's why this is important, because you haven't had that recognition, right? And so that's why this image is coming through too of this funeral, because you don't realize like how many people would show up. And I think that you need to realize, or at least hear it from the angels through me to you, that like you are touching souls like you don't even realize. Like, you are a fucking light in this world, and you are, the way that you hold people in moments and the way that you see people and listen to people is like it's so intimate and beautiful that it almost freaks people out and it scares them. And this is getting into that chameleon energy, okay? So why does the light bother me? Let me try and move the car. Hold. Here we go. This looks more even, right? So you're getting into this chameleon energy, right? And this chameleon energy is the way that you hold and see people. And the way that you hold and see people is actually like, this is so cool. This is why you're a chameleon, because you have this gift of adaptability. You have this gift, this ability of like truly, it's almost like you're such, here's how I'm gonna explain it. Okay, so one of the images that came through for me was a Lemurian quartz, a quartz crystal, and everyone buys quartz. Like, think about every house that's ever had a crystal. There's a quartz in that house. And you wanna know what quartz crystals do? One, they have rainbows all in them. Everyone loves them, and they put them in as centerpieces of the house. And what they do energetically is enhance what's already in the room, right? They're huge, massive, reflective energies, and that's what you are, okay? So you're this Lemurian quartz in this message, in this energy. And so you're basically like, when you're placed in settings with people, you're enhancing what's going on. So let's go back to those groups that you've been a part of, right? Those communities that you've been a part of. You were entered into that community, and you're a quartz crystal. So whether there's good or bad or light or dark or whatever is going on, or drama going on in the community, you're an enhanced crystal. You're basically a prism where any frequencies anyone else is sending out, they're moving through you and shooting out and enhancing, okay? Because that's the gift that you are. You basically reflect and give back. So when people are light and beauty and goodness and sending light and beauty and goodness in, you're reflecting that. And when someone's reflecting in drama, you're reflecting that. And when someone's reflecting in like the shadow sides of themselves that they don't want to see, you're reflecting that, okay? And also in this empathy, I just want to say, like, there's a part of you that's like so incredibly empathetic, to a degree that like you, I'm gonna explain this empathy part before we keep going into the chameleon essence, but you're empathetic to a degree that like you do not realize, okay? You're so empathetic that you're actually attuned to, and I just did this message on TikTok that I didn't realize was going to be a part of this, but like you're attuned to these, basically the field around you of energy. Like, you're tapped into all radio stations, okay? You just have access to them. It's part of your coding, okay? And if you ever think about like thoughts or things that come into our brain, like the way the images come in, the way that thoughts come in, however you experience your brain and like things that come in. And if you've done a lot of meditation, you're gonna know this even more profoundly, but like you are not your thoughts, right? And the things that come through into your brain are communication. It's basically like an antenna. It's a radio station that you're tapped into. And so this has probably been happening for you, and this may have even been happening for you throughout time, where you like start to recognize that like when you're in settings with people, let's say you're sitting at a dinner event or something and there's a bunch of people there, right? And then like there's a moment of silence where you're like not talking, and you start to realize like all these thoughts that are coming in, and a lot of them are thoughts of like worthiness and whether or not you belong. And like I'm just hearing like there's a bit of comparison that comes up, and there's a bit of like almost just like, are you valid to be there, is kind of the energy that's coming up. But it's all these different kinds of thoughts, or sometimes even like random little thoughts might come into your head. Like you actually might even receive channels when you're in group settings, or maybe like if you're like, I'm a writer, for example, when I'm in group settings, sometimes I get like poems when I'm in the middle of a group setting, and I'm like, where is this coming from? But okay, you know? So sometimes, because everything else in your physical field is preoccupied, all of a sudden your channel might open, and you might even receive channels when you're in settings with people. But again, you're open to those radio frequencies. And so you can tune in and tap in and not even realize that you've opened a frequency that may have even come from someone else. So when you're in these settings, like, you're such an empathetic person that you actually might be tapping into and receiving radio frequencies that other people in the room are tapped into. And one, that's why you're so like attuned to energies. Like, you see when people shift, you like can feel what's going on with them, and there's like just so much there of like where you're like a little bit, and it almost like makes you feel like not unseen, but like you're like, it's almost like you're afraid of your own like emphasis in the room. And yeah, because you're just like so aware, like you see so deeply. But again, this is one of those abilities. This is one of your abilities, is your sight. It's the way that you see people. It's the way that you experience beings and literally see straight through them. Like, that's going to be something very potent here too. And also the sight resonates with owls, so you may have connection to owls. Also wisdom and like teachers on the other side. I didn't mean to drink an ice cube right there. Okay, so you basically are tapping into these like frequencies, right? And this is your empathy. This is a part of you that's probably been told throughout your whole life. People like just like feel like you're a little bit too sensitive, or you've been told that you're too sensitive throughout your life, but really this sensitivity is one of those gifts, right? This is, you've got the sight, you've got the sensitivity, and you've got the chameleon energy. And these together, my love, you are a shapeshifter, okay? You are literally a shapeshifter. I think that oh, it's on my phone. I took a photo of this thing because this was one of the things that came through last week for this reading. Let me see if I can read it to you. Shapeshifter. Malleable. That's one of the main words for this reading too. I totally forgot. A spark hovers above the ground and forms emerge from its epicenter. An arm, a beak, an antler. They stretch out from the spark and then snap back in, changing shape again and assuming a new form. The shapeshifter is the great chameleon, using the energy of their creativity to morph into anything they desire. We all want to be like a shapeshifter. This is like so beautiful, because you don't realize that people actually desire the qualities that you have, my love. Like, you don't realize that everything that we're talking about in this video is actually like again, like in the beginning where I'm like emphasize the fact that these are gifts, these are abilities. This is so extremely important, and that's why people there's a sense here of like people haven't recognized you, which we already talked about. But the reason people don't recognize you is because they don't want to add more fire to the flame. Like, they don't want to give you more power than you already have, because they see you as powerful. Okay, they see you as literally one of the people that's going to be the most successful in this world, because you can adapt to anything, because you just pull shit out of thin air, because you're so incredibly like malleable in all situations, and you move through things and you alchemize things like no one they've ever met before, okay? And that freaks them out, okay? I'm like mom energy right now. I'm like, this is why people aren't recognizing you, sharing you, posting you, putting you out into the world, because they are worried that you're already gonna go up. You're gonna rise so quickly, but there's no stopping that, my love. Even if they aren't sharing you, that's their own journey within themselves, right? Even if they aren't welcoming you in, or speaking highly about you the way that you speak about others. I know you do it. The way that you speak about others, you speak so highly of them, and even if other people aren't doing that for you, it's because they think that you're already being spoken about so highly that they almost their shadow self that they don't hide, that they're fighting with inside of themselves, that we were talking about earlier, wants to hide that. They are like, no, I don't want to like throw that into the world and give it up. You know, it's almost like they want to keep you to themselves kind of energy. Like they don't want to lose you almost, because they know that you're powerful, and having you in their life is powerful. Okay? Let's see. You have the abilities, the capabilities to take on the aspects of this character, but the shapeshifter may ask you to be more malleable. maybe I can't read it because my finger's in front of it. That part must not matter. But yeah, so like literally you're a shapeshifter. So let's move back into this chameleon energy, right? This is such a potent message. I'm so excited about that. I've literally been sitting on this message for a whole week, by the way. Like, I have been like trying to piece all the bits together because like I've been getting little tiny pieces in different moments. And like the other day, okay, this is like a side thing, I just want to talk to you. But the other day I like hiked up to this really epic spot with my best friends, and we were sitting on this rock, and I was wearing these leggings, right? And I just like laughed because I'd been getting chameleon stuff the entire week. Like, I'd been getting all these different chameleon messages and like all of this energy of shapeshifterness and malleable energies, and like everything like slowly starting to piece together this message so that I could give it to you. And then we like hiked up to this point, and we all sat on this rock on the edge of a cliff, and I just like looked down, and my leggings were the exact same color as the rock. And I laughed, and I was like, ha ha ha, I blend in. And my best friend looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, you're such a chameleon." And I was like, are you kidding me? Did you just say that? I was like, I need to mark this. This is such a potent, important message to get out there. But yeah, I was just so busy that I like hadn't had time to like give the message. But this message also really needed to marinate so that I could like put all the pieces together. Because yesterday I also like pulled some cards, or I attempted to pull some cards on this message, and I was like, but why? But why? But why? I was like, I get the message, like I hear the message, I'm like, but why? You know, I was like, there needs to be like a purpose behind the message of like, let's give and ask the angels, like, what is the essence of the chameleon energy? And so anyways, like, I'm like, I needed to sit and marinate so that I could pull this entire message together, right? Okay, so let's move back now into the chameleon energy, right? And again, let's move into that part where last night I was trying to pull tarot. And literally I wrote this down because I was pulling the tarot. It says, there is no tarot to be pulled because you are the entire deck. You are everyone. You are the Lumerian quartz crystals everyone keeps in their homes. These enhancements for energy, right? Yeah, so anyways, you are this chameleon energy. I'm getting really hot in here. That's when you know I'm like really channeling. I tell you guys this every single message. I need to just chill. I know you guys watch the other messages too that resonate with you. But yeah, so you're this chameleon energy, and like you've always like kind of been a shapeshifter, and you've been able to adapt. And I actually really have this strong feeling that you've probably been told that throughout your life too, where you're just like, you change really quickly, like more quickly than most people do, and people are like, you're kind of like a shapeshifter, like you have that quality. And if you've never been told that before, I'm the first to tell you. I'm stoked to be the first to tell you. But you have this quality about you that's like, you literally are able to adapt to anybody. And again, it goes back to these brain frequencies, more than that, all frequencies, this radio stations that you tap into that are everybody's radio stations. And it also connects into your empathy, right? Which is why you're so connected to this chameleon energy, where like you're reflecting back to people at a mass rate. Like it's almost like, I'm seeing this image of like, you know how cells regenerate? I'm seeing this, sorry, the camera cut out. Anyways, I'm seeing this image of like cells regenerating, and I'm seeing that your cells are regenerating a little bit more quickly than other cells. And that's really cool, one. Two, that's because you're literally regenerating all the information that you're taking in, and it's giving you, it's a part of these abilities. Like it's giving you the gift of reflecting back to others, so much of themselves, and like they get to experience themselves through you. So now we're gonna kind of get into the part that's like the why, right? These people, everyone is here for their purpose, right? Their mission, and they're searching for themselves, right? And even you're searching for yourself, right? Or maybe you feel like you found a bit of yourself, but like that's kind of part of like the human reality, right? We like come here to journey. Like it's a journey. It's literally like the most potent medicine journey of our entire lives is being here on earth. And we all come here, and then like we experience ourselves through others. Like again with this message, like you are everyone. And then I have here, I had a card come out where it was like the reversed missing cup. Like everyone's here on this journey. They're looking for a missing cup, and then the missing cup is you, but you're actually just a reflection of them. So they're actually their own missing cup, and that's what's been missing for, or what they're searching for, but you're the one that gets to reflect that back to people. And so that's like the most potent, like, that's the why, right? That's the gift. And I have here, like, you are the missing cup. There is no other mission. You are simply here to help others realize they are their own solution. They are their own worst enemy. They are their own best friend. Okay. So they are their own best friend, right? And you get to be that beautiful Lemurian quartz reflection where you're basically like reflecting back out their light into themselves. And so everything, it's just so funny because you know how we were talking about like people being afraid of your power? These people are afraid of your power because they're afraid of their own power. Again, like this is a huge reflective energy. That's the chameleon energy. They don't even realize that you're there. It's all a reflection for their own journey and their own experience. And now I want to deep dive just a little bit more into you, because I know that it's I resonate with you in the sense that it's really hard to be a chameleon. Like it's really hard to be that person that shapeshifts everywhere, fits in everywhere, but doesn't fit in anywhere. You know what I mean? And you're almost like, there's a sense of like, what's your journey and what's your purpose? Even if there is like, there's no mission other than for you to be the reflector, for you to reflect back light into this world and bring goodness and heighten the frequencies and vibrations of this world. But like, again, like there's this sense of like, oh, but there needs to be more purpose, right? Right. And so I just want to like touch on this little part. I wrote down one more little section for you. Throughout life you have shifted, tried on every color, every season, every style of being. You have found yourself amongst beings of all sorts, learning the magic tricks they have found, testing the waters and reflecting themselves back to them. And why, you may ask? Because you make everything better. Here's the thing. Wow, we're going deep. I did not realize this is where we were going. Planet Earth needed help. Planet Earth needed help. And you got the call. And you volunteered to come help. You may not remember this, but your soul wanted to be goodness and put higher frequency and vibration into this world. So why are you here? You're here because you are goodness and you are kindness in the whole center matter of your heart and your being and your existence, every little piece of you. Like you really are just so, you're just goodness, you're light, and you're here to reflect all of these things, because without the reflection there's no ability to shift and grow. And so it's almost like this mass collective of beings came here to planet Earth to help raise the frequency and the vibration. Like I'm hearing this, I'm seeing this visual that's like this really, I can't remember what it's called though. It's this really epic video. I'll try and find it and put it in the caption if you want to watch it. But it's like about starseeds and like how we chose to come here and that we would forget everything. And we came here to help. Like the call went out and we came here to help. But yeah, so you came here to raise the vibration, and so there's no sense of like needing to rush through anything, because throughout all this time, like if we look at all the moments that you have really been here, you've been in each different community and group, and you've been a reminder in each one of light. And here's the thing, okay, I bet this is true for you. I can almost guarantee it. The people that you used to be super close to 5-10 years ago, I bet they love you now, don't they? Don't they? Yeah, like the communities that you're no longer a part of at all. You've shifted so many communities since then, and you always struggle when you're in the communities, but you just don't realize how much you're shifting the communities. And I bet my butt on this, that you get messages from all these people from like 10 years ago that are messaging you like, I just hope you know how much you changed my life. Like, I just hope you know how much you touched my heart and showed me that I could love myself, right? And so that's the whole purpose. It's just, you don't realize how much you're doing in this current moment because it takes time for those renditions to revise themselves and to rebuild themselves in those beings. And then those beings come around and they remember you in the light that you reflected back to them. That's why those people are messaging you. And this is going to continue throughout the rest of your life, okay? The rest of your life, you're going to continue to get messages, and it's going to be from a long time ago. And it's going to be people that say like, you don't even realize how much you touched me, how much you touched my heart, how much you shifted me, how much you reminded me of who I am, and how abundant I am, and how beautiful I am, and how powerful I am. You showed me that. And you're showing them because that's your whole purpose, is just being. It's being and rising and growing and tapping into all these radio frequencies. And as you're doing that, you're rising naturally because you're shifting to the radio frequencies that your soul recognizes and remembers as like home. And those radio frequencies are what you're welcoming in now. And that's why this is all so potent, and this is all happening at this exact moment in time that you found this video, right? That this is so for you. In this exact moment in time. And this message probably found you too, which is so crazy that that's even possible. Like, that beats me. All my messages beat me. Like, I go back and I'm like, what spirit was talking through me then? You know, like, I literally go back and I'm like, these channeled messages are literally from the angels. Like, they come through me to you, and they are here to remind you just of how potent and beautiful you are. Okay? This has been such a magical message, and I'm so happy to be the one delivering it to you. Like, I just hope you understand my eternal gratitude to be here and communicate with you and get to just be that chameleon for you the way that you are for so many other people. Because remember, all this light that you see, all this reminder in this video, it's my chameleon energy getting to give that back to you. I'm literally just a quartz shining back your own light. And this message 1,000,000% found you exactly when it was meant to, and right on time, right? I love you. If this message has resonated with you, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments. I would love to hear you, and just thank you for being here, and thank you for just existing. And I know this is probably gonna come through in a different channeled message. This is just like hinting at the very end, but like, I know that you've always wanted your own tribe. And I just want you to know that within the next few years, within this next like season, but it's gonna be like a chunkier season of your life, I think that they're gonna find you. And I think that you're gonna start to realize that even some of the ones that have been around you for a while are also your tribe. And they're the ones that have seen your light and your dark and not blinked an eye. They're probably also chameleons that would resonate with this message too. They probably have just seen you the whole time. And they probably have also felt like they're looking for their tribe. But you guys have been together. And more are coming. There's a very big like hush hush, but like more are coming. Like, it's all coming together, my love. Okay, I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next message.